People often ask me why I started a vlog focusing on personality traits, relationships, and mental health, when there are so many out there from world-renowned health organizations and other professionals. In a split second, I thought to myself, what are they saying? Do they believe I need to be qualified, or is there so much competition in this subject that my efforts may seem fruitless? I usually respond with a similar statement. Because humans don't receive and understand information the same, my focus is to give information in simplistic terms to help as many as I possibly can. At this point, I may see a smile, a smirk, a dumbfounded look, or no reaction at all, and those responses serve to reinforce my point. If we, as humans, do not receive information the same, we can't give information the same way to affect change in others. People can read 10 different websites on communication, leaving the sites more confused than when they started reading. I want to affect change by giving examples and placing myself in their shoes, showing them how to see themselves, and hopefully showing how to change. In my view, the primary reasons for communication breakdown are our individual levels of happiness and trust in the other person. Before you dismiss this as a simplistic explanation, I invite you to read on and allow me to demonstrate how these factors play a crucial role in our interactions. Do you have a friend who will always listen to you, whether they tell you what you want or need to hear, no matter what's going on? Do you know why you love them as a friend? This person makes you happy, and you trust them. Period. There's nothing complicated about that. But why do you trust them? At this point you may hear, they've been there for me, never judged me or wanted anything from me or something because they've always been there for me. This person makes them happy. One important point to remember when improving our communication ability is enhancing our ability to listen. Just because you hear doesn't mean a person controls your thoughts or actions. Have you ever watched a news station with multiple people speaking with opposing viewpoints, arguing and over-talking each other? Of course, this segment is emotional, which drives ratings for the network. But what is the problem here? There is limited time, no one is listening to the other's points and needs, and they are fighting to get their point heard. We fight to be heard and understood every day of our lives. If I gave you $1 billion, your dream home, and all the things you needed to do everything in the world you want to do, you'd love me forever and talk my head off. I could get you to listen to me and do exactly what I asked you to do within reason. That's because you're happy and you trust me. This technique is also how someone can negatively manipulate others or brainwash them, but that's for another blog. How do you become a better communicator? It's easy, but it takes practice. You will start by listening to others more. Look at them, listen, and really try to understand how they feel. Effective communication encompasses a combination of logical and emotional actions. The key is to apply these principles in your daily interactions, empowering you to become a more effective communicator. Here is a good example. You are married or live with someone in a committed relationship. Usually, the man thinks logically, and the woman, in a heterosexual relationship, thinks emotionally. However, this statement does not mean they only think this way. The previous statement simply means those traits help shape their thinking and actions. He wants her to be more tidy around the house, and she wants more attention and understanding from him. She hears him in regards to being tidy, but it's not that important at that time, and she needs time to adjust. They are having a dinner party tonight. The night prior, the woman stays up cleaning, polishing, shining everything. She doesn't ask for help or anything. She's on autopilot. The man is happy for the clean house, but he is angry. Can anyone figure out why? Many times I've used this scenario to explain healthy communication. The females will say, he's just spoiled. Hell, she cleaned up, and isn't that what he wanted? And usually the males will say, he's mad because he wasn't included in her cleaning sessions, and she accomplished it without his help. They could be right, but they are all wrong in this scenario. And this is one of the reasons why personal and professional relationships succeed, and why some fail. Many will say, well, he needs to open his mouth, I'm not a mind reader, and I don't have time for passive-aggressive emotional games. Open your darn mouth. I will then say, what's passive-aggressive about this? I said he was angry. I didn't say he didn't talk to her and express himself. Then the class will get quiet. The purpose of this example is to teach a very important concept in communication. but it is also used to see how students will add their own issues based on their own experiences. A fundamental concept to master when becoming a better communicator is asking someone how they feel about a situation whenever there is strife in a relationship. Here is something to think about. Why do we as humans pay professionals to ask, "How did that make you feel?" when you are right there with them? The reason we don't do it, notwithstanding the narcissists who don't feel or care, is that we don't want to know. We don't want to have to hear how we made someone feel if we believe at that moment our feelings should be the only feelings that matter. Let me say that to you again. We don't ask how a person feels when we've done something to make them feel that way, or when we are somehow a part of the situation and could have intervened, or we can't understand their feelings. The most effective communicators are those who can transmit information to someone in a way they can understand, and we can also know how they feel most of the time. Success in life comes from effective communication. This is extremely important to understand, which leads me to another essential concept for you to know and master. Remember, I said people need to be happy and they need to trust you. We aim to build trust with someone by being honest to them, about them, and honest to them about you. This also means showing the ability to admit when you're wrong and apologize sincerely. When I say sincerely, I mean apologize from your mouth and your heart, so the person you are apologizing to can see and feel it. If apologizing and admitting when you're wrong is too much work, then relationships aren't for you, period. A person can only fake sincerity for so long. My grandmother once told me, "God gives us 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice as much as we speak." These are compelling words. This statement means that we should learn to listen and feel before speaking. Sure, there will be occasions where we are faced with the long-winded talker who speaks so much, we need to remember what we want to say. I love those people because I say, "Excuse me, may I say something?" Or in the more extreme cases I say, "Let's reschedule, I have to run," and that will depend upon the situation involved. Let's return to our scenario, because it is vital that you, the reader, understand what is going on. We don't know why he's angry, but we should know that assuming is dangerous. And here comes another significant topic. Have you ever known people to argue and decide neither will speak or resolve it? We've all been there. Why don't we talk? You can say it. It's called pride. In many cases, we as humans get satisfaction from a situation, believing we are right and they were wrong. We are so satisfied that we dare not open the door by going to them to ask them how we can fix this, because doing so looks as if we could be wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, pride is one of the 7 deadly sins for a reason. Pride is a self-serving characteristic that, if left unchecked, can and will destroy you and all those around you. I truly mean this. Pride is key to this situation, because as much as he could have explained what is bothering him, she could have asked him, "What's wrong, or did I do something to upset you?" Too often we are caught up with seeing things as we think they should be, and we easily trap ourselves inside our own heads and emotions. Let's try to understand how she feels. "Look, I have a dinner party and I want this place looking good. Our home reflects me and I dare not allow it to look extravagant." Or this thought, "I love hosting parties. I'm good at it. My mother taught me this and she was the best. I miss her. Whenever I get to do this, it brings me closer to her," or any number of reasons. Let's rewind and try this scenario another way. Her, "Hey babe, I'm gonna get up and start cleaning the entire house. You can help if you like, but you don't have to. I move like a crazy person sometimes, but I love to do it." And he says, "I love how you clean the house from top to bottom for a party. I wish our home could stay this way all the time. It's just the 2 of us, and I don't understand why we can't do this. My apartment always stayed neat and orderly, and sometimes I get frustrated." She openly expresses how she loves to do this, and he expresses how seeing her finally clean the place makes him happy. He became angry because he felt other people's opinions of their homes mattered more than his wants and needs. But why wasn't this addressed before now? No one is truly listening to the other person. Let's recap. 1. Be happy. 2. Learn to trust the other person. 3. Start asking how situations make someone feel. 4. Listen with emotion and logic. 5. Learn to say "I'm sorry" or apologize for what the other person needs to hear. 6. Put your pride aside sometimes and be the first person to open the door to communication. 7. Practice, practice, practice. Final thoughts. Apologizing is not a sign of weakness, yet a sign of strength. Often both need to apologize. Do not allow yourself to be manipulated into a situation where you always admit fault. That's not the key here. Effective communication is a cycle where I speak, they listen and feel, they speak, and I listen and feel. An excellent habit to form is the art of repeating what you just heard back to them so they know you are listening, then state your points of information. You will be surprised when you can change inside of you. Live life, enjoy life.